What's up, guys? Today we're talking boxing GGG versus some Canelo. I'm getting pumped up. You guys getting pumped up? Why am I getting pumped up for a fight where Canelo Alvarez already lost and people are brainwashed as promoters and boxing people all around Las Vegas make a ton of dough because boxing has ripped you off? That's right, you are the sucker. We're the sucker. We're getting ripped off here because Canelo Alvarez clearly lost. I mean, the majority, I looked around enough, the majority of the boxing public agrees that Canelo Alvarez lost. I mean, you have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. I guarantee you, someone that's not even really into boxing could check out about 15 fights. And then after the 15 fights, you show them GGG versus Canelo with the TV muted, and they'll tell you that Canelo looks like he lost that fight. The majority, let's say 10 guys in the room that are new to watching boxing. So whatever. My point is, on a website today, they're saying these are the Canelo Alvarez gloves he was going to wear on September 15th. The gloves say no boxing, no life. It's the brand of boxing equipment made by Eddie Reynoso, trainer of Canelo. Excuse me if I said the name wrong. I'm reading this here real quick. And I'll tell you what, they were denied. They were denied by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. First approved for Canelo to use his gloves, but after Gennady Golovkin, trainer Abel Sanchez complained that it was too risky to use the pair of gloves because, I'm paraphrasing, I read the article here. So what happens is they were never used in a boxing contest professionally. So the no boxing, no life gloves, they have passed all the technology tests, all the norms and regulations, and they ranked up there with the best traditional top quality brands like Everlast and what have you, the Reyes. They were never used in a professional boxing fight. Am I right about that? That's what it says here. So they were not approved because for the tiebreaker. That kind of irks me when I'm skimming through this right now. The tiebreaker, guys, a tiebreaker. Now you're telling me and many other smart boxing fans that are real loyal fans, the loyal fans, not the casual fan, you're telling me this is a tiebreaker. You know, it's that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, okay? It leaves a bad taste in my mouth because clearly it's not a tiebreaker. It's like a fight that a guy already lost, he's getting another chance. That's boxing for you. I'm hyped up about this. There's a lot going on here, and if you look through the comments here on this post, it says just sick of these, stick with the original style gloves and quit trying to wear fancy stuff, and use Reyes and put no boxing, no life on them, someone said. And you know, a lot of people are just like, hey, you know, how are we going to trust any gloves coming from you-know-who, Canelo's camp, after what happened? They're just joking around and stuff like that. So guys, here we are, we're 2 weeks out, right? It's going to happen September 16th. Incidentally, I recorded a podcast on my phone while I was hanging out. As I tried this new technology, I downloaded it. I gotta somehow get that cast out here. It sounded pretty good for the phone. It was crazy. So I actually recorded one. I have an extra one. Maybe I'll do two in one day. Who knows? So some of you are hanging in there. You're feeling these, what I'm talking about. So that's really cool. So if you're here for the first time, just go through the channel, look at the archive, check out how I said Lomachenko would beat Rigondeaux. Check out all the people that were hating on that video, all the thumbs down, and then never seen these clowns again. I was right. I said he's not going to bring that big power up. Rigo's not going to be able to beat Loma. Check out how many people told me Deontay Wilder was going to get beat. One dude even said, you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know anything about boxing, he told me. He said, Wilder is the most amateurish fighter. Wild swinging. Ortiz is going to beat him and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm right more than I'm wrong. A lot more consistently over the years. Not everyone's going to be right all the time, but when you got a bunch of trolls coming on, rolling up, and they can't debate, they can't use logic and just debating skills, or just say their opinion without attacking you. Some of these people's comments you don't even see. Automatically, YouTube's throwing them in a spam filter, guys. If I say a prediction and you don't like what you're hearing, that's your problem, not mine. I could be wrong. Canelo could easily turn this around and win somehow, right? Did I say easily? That was a mistake. I don't think he could easily win. He'd have to work very hard. And GGG's at that age. And some people said, why are you talking about age? Age is a big deal because just imagine if, I brought this point up before. I said, what if GGG was 28 years old? Right? Canelo's 28 years old, guys. He's still young in boxing. So can you imagine the devastation that GGG would be in that ring? I don't think there would be a second fight at all because you would probably KO'd Canelo in the first fight. Really, real talk. Going into this fight, let me just remind you, age 1982. Triple G is now 36. He's a middleweight. He's not a lefty. He's got a 70-inch reach. He's 38. Gigantic wins because they came with heavy KOs. 34 KOs, 0 losses. Canelo, let's take a quick look at him. He is a middleweight, orthodox, of course, 5'8". He's shorter than GGG. He's got a 70-inch reach. And he is 28 years old. And his birthday was in July. He just turned 28. And he's got 49 wins and 34 KOs. And 1 loss to Floyd Mayweather in a fight, which I did predict on his channel again. And got a lot of people angry at me because I'm telling them Canelo's going to lose to what essentially is going to look like a sparring session for Floyd. I broke that fight down. Sports fans, I love you. I love the boxing fans. They're so passionate. See, I'm a boxing fan first here. I'm a boxing fan. I'm a real boxing fan. So I don't get mad. All right, who's one of my favorite fighters? Let's think about this. One of my favorite fighters right now, I would say Triple G. He is one of my favorite fighters. Now, when Triple G there was talks that he was going to fight Andre Ward, I was like, that's crazy. Ward's going to beat him. See, so that's an unbiased review. That's how I do it. I'm going to tell you what I think. Even if I'm a fan of someone, I'm not going to let that blind me into saying to you, hey, this guy's going to win. I'm not going to get disillusioned by reality. I just knew that Triple G was smaller and he's going to go up and fight this magnificent boxer, Andre Ward, and Andre Ward was going to handle that. Some people disagreed with me. Some people may still disagree with me, even though things have changed because obviously Ward retired, beat Kovalev second fight, but both, the first one kind of controversial, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to let that cloud my judgment and my picks. That's just the way I do it. It's just fun for me. This is fun for me. If Canelo wins this fight, you think I'm going to cry? No. You think I'm going to get mad? There's going to be a slew of people. It's been a while since this happened, since I've been predicting a fighter and then I'm wrong and then seeing what transpires after that in the comment section. I just know a lot of these people are going to come running back here. It would be great, wouldn't it? You think I care? I'm going to be like, hey, more power to the man. He actually won. So Triple G is 5'10 and a half. He's got that 70-inch reach. These guys, for me, someone also said in the post here in the fight news, that Canelo is one of the most overrated fighters in the last decade. I tend to agree with him. He's a good boxer, but he has been put in there with guys that were very old. Cotto, Mosley, the names. He would get these names, and the names were already over the hill. Their prime was far behind. That's what they did. It's marketing, it's business, it's money. It's money. So Vegas, De La Hoya, and everyone else has a lot of money riding on Canelo. The Vegas business around this man has a lot of money to lose. He's still young. There's a lot of multi-million-dollar, if not, dare I say, billion-dollar paydays. When I say billion, I mean it generates that much money. A mega fight with Canelo, if he beats GGG, fights a guy he's going to beat after that, like an easier fight, comes back, they build up another guy, and they have a mega fight. It's going to be more millions. They're going to lose all that. They're going to lose all that revenue if GGG gets that title and wins. Of course, they might have a third fight. If GGG doesn't knock him out, they'll have that third fight. There's a lot of money being made here, guys, and that's the problem, because the first fight, I said he wouldn't be permitted to win. It was a draw. It was a gift for Canelo, and a lot of people are making a lot more money. I like to say they're double dipping. They're double dipping off the boxing public. A lot of people are being conned. A lot of people are being ripped off. Who cares, right? Because boxing's the wild, wild west. It's just like that. It's the way it is. One of the few people that spoke out, it sounded like a broken record, is Teddy Atlas about the whole thing. And where's Teddy Atlas? Teddy Atlas has been removed from commentating ringside by ESPN. And they said it's because he treated Mark Kriegel. And I'm still trying to find that. Someone linked me in. He was allegedly sitting with Mark Kriegel, I read, who's that writer guy who's now a commentator, and he treated him very poorly. He treated him bad on camera. And I don't know what that consisted of. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, he treated him bad? Someone wrote that. I skimmed an article sometime in the summer, and it said that. So he got removed. On top of everything else, he's probably too outspoken. He's probably saying boxing's corrupt too many times. He's probably saying the judges that were paid off, someone after a title fight allegedly had more money in their bank account, some boxing judge. Look, is that a surprise to you? It's not a surprise to me. There's a lot of corruption in boxing, and it's all facilitated by the people that operate and maneuver behind the scenes in boxing, and it's all built on a lot of fraud. Allegedly, because you could see what happens. If you don't believe me, Google Yuri Boy Campus. You'll see what I'm saying. You could do your own research on this. There's a lot of people manipulating boxing. He's not too far away from Don King. Back in the day, the story goes Don King literally had a pile of cash in a dresser drawer or whatever, and I think Tim Witherspoon went over there, and he basically slid open the drawer with some cash. Hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars if you don't sign that other contract for a lot more, and just it went to court and all that stuff. I mean, look, this is just the way the sport is. It needs to be regulated, and it all ties into this fight, because if you look at that first fight, that shouldn't have happened. Things like this in boxing shouldn't happen. Like Danny Garcia, when he loses in Puerto Rico, Mauricio Herrera looked like he won. That shouldn't have happened. Let's go back, because nothing has changed. So this stands today. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. He won the fight and totally got robbed. You want to bury your head in the sand as a boxing fan, even if you're for a certain fighter, because your fighter won when the other dude got robbed, then that's your problem. Because you're just helping that agenda. If people would stand up as a boxing fans, which is not going to ever happen, would stand up and go, look, I'm not having this anymore. I'm not going to buy this pay-per-view. I'm boycotting it, because I'm not going to watch these guys get robbed like this, and I'm taking a stand. The way you can do that is with your dollar. That's the only way you can do that. Money speaks volumes. Money moves it all. And that's what this is all about. So let's see. People are complaining about everything with this fight. It's crazy. I wish it wasn't like, there should be no controversy here. It should be a rematch where Canelo lost a decision, because he lost a decision. We should be not talking about that. We should be talking about, hey, is Canelo going to really be able to make these adjustments that Oscar De La Hoya believes and his camp believes on GGG? Now, they're going to be variables. There's going to be a lot of nuances with the boxing style and pockets, you know what I mean? So before, if Canelo wasn't capitalizing on mistakes where he would throw the jab and GGG wasn't really working that hard in between those jabs when Canelo had an opening, those will be corrected. But it's going to make for a different fight slightly. Is GGG going to be able to knock him out? Is Canelo going to, because I believe there is no Mexican, and it's unfair, the Mexican style. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Senior, one of the best fighters ever. I'm a fan. This man had an unbelievable style that solidified the so-called Mexican style mythology, if you will. Canelo is like, whoa, that's not my style. My style, because he would be a fool. Let me break that down real quick. He would be a fool to trade with Triple G. It would be foolish, because he would be KO'd fast if he stood in there and traded with Triple G. So I don't blame him for fighting the way he does. That's his right, and he doesn't have to fight a so-called Mexican style. He has to fight the way Canelo Alvarez fights. See, I get a lot of Canelo Alvarez fans are probably like, yeah, come on, you agree with that, right? Because you know your boy's not going in there and fighting 4 rounds, trading with GGG. If he trades with GGG like that, it's going to be because he senses Triple G's getting tired or he's hurt. Canelo Alvarez does have a good enough boxing IQ. There's super great fighters, elite fighters, like GGG in his prime. He's 36, just keep that in mind. And then there's Canelo Alvarez. Great fighters, they're really good, but they're not elite. They're not near Floyd Mayweather's level in their division. They're not super fantastic special like Floyd Mayweather, Loma, like Pernell Whitaker. He doesn't have that. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's just not that. Even if he beats GGG, people are going to question the age. People are going to question a lot. And they're going to say, oh, just because he beat him doesn't make him super elite. Doesn't make him... He's in the upper echelon of boxing for sure. But in my opinion, he doesn't have that super it factor that Floyd has. Undefeated, unbelievable, ring general, but he's a really good fighter. You can't take that away from Canelo. He's got a lot of talent. He learned a lot. He's been in there with the best, even though a lot of these guys were faded. Mosley and a lot of other guys he was in there with. He learned from Floyd. You think he didn't pick up new skills in that fight? You're crazy. Daniel Jacobs, GGG, they were banking off that, I believe. I said this many times before. They were hoping in the first fight he was a faded fighter, because a lot of people are disillusioned. They don't understand boxing. They don't realize Daniel Jacobs is a superstar champion fighter, and they don't realize that Daniel Jacobs, when he went in there with Triple G, was in his prime, and he was about what? Still a young man, age 29, 30, and they didn't realize that because Triple G didn't knock Daniel Jacobs out. They were believing that hype. Maybe someone in a commentary probably said, oh, GGG didn't knock Jacobs out. He didn't look like his normal self. Well, yo, come on. You should know boxing. You should know Daniel Jacobs is incredible. Daniel Jacobs is a great fighter. If you go to Daniel Jacobs' record, you'll see, and GGG won that fight. He knocked him down. He won convincingly, okay? This guy knocked out Kid Chocolate, a great fighter in his own right, really good fighter, in 1 round. 1 stinking round. That can happen to Canelo. Canelo's no fool. He's not going to fight like that. He's going to try to win us on points. He's got to win the fight on points. That's the only way I could see him winning. And he's got to improve and make those adjustments. And Triple G is going to be more aggressive, I believe. And he's going to really pressure him early. Because they know each other now. They both were in that ring before. Jacobs knocked out Sergio Mora. He beat, he's just a solid fighter. I'm just going off here. I'm trying to figure in my mind. Nobody's going to go in there and knock out Jacobs in 1 round. Unless Jacobs is past his prime. Nobody. Not even Triple G if they fought again. And it's not going to happen. So Canelo Alvarez is no fool. He's not going to fight that type of fight. So if you're looking for a big improvement somehow, this so-called Mexican style, that ain't going to happen. He's got to work his way towards that. If GGG gets hurt or really tired, and then he's going to be really super cautious still. Because Gennady Golovkin will be dangerous if he's hurt. There's a lot going on here. It's going to be really fun. And I can't stop talking about this fight. It's going to be really good. What else is on the boxing horizon? Before I go, let's see what else is going on. Let's see what's in the schedule here. Take a quick look. September, Amir Khan versus Samuel Vargas. Interesting. That's an interesting fight. I want to see this Fury fight. This Fury versus Wilder. Sean Porter versus Garcia. I talked about in the previous video. Danny Garcia is the favorite. I did look it up. I'm going to talk more on this fight. So Sean Porter versus Garcia. I could very well be wrong on this. It's one of those fights where you really don't know what's going to happen until it's going on. You know, those commentators have that advantage. A lot of these guys, they get on that mic and they don't really give you a prediction. They're slick. And then as the fight's transpiring, and then it looks like the fight's going on, the front runner commentator will come out and say, well, I thought it was going to go this way. Yeah, right. Please, come on. Come on. So, yeah, I'm going with Porter on this one. I think he's going to grind out a decision win. Going to be tough. On top of that, I hate that. I went on in a video about it, I believe. Went on to that whole hometown, home cooking. It's acceptable. That should not be acceptable. And that adds to the corruption of boxing. It's just always one thing after another. I believe that it's going to be a great fight. Really good. And Sean Porter versus Garcia is going to be, that's going to be a good fight. Really, there might be a part 2 to that. We're going to see what happens. Is it going to be like a Diego Corrales? Remember that? Jose Luis Castillo versus Corrales. I watch it, Corrales' trainer. Oh my goodness, he's so funny. What's his name? Oh, he's so funny. His name escapes me right now, the trainer. Dude, if you watch that fight, Corrales got knocked down, spit the mouthpiece out, went to the corner. Dude curses, now you gotta go get him. Fight on the inside, the way he told him. Goozin, right? So funny. That was crazy. That was a crazy fight. I watched that live on Showtime. I remember actually I invited a friend over the night those two fought. And my friend said, I'll pass. The next day, I called him up. I said, you missed the fight of the decade. Easy. I'll be back soon. See you next time. Get above me, I stay energized, drinking New York shots of black coffee. Some people are hearing my raspy voice, they getting salty. Like the Incredible Hulk, I stay fit, my poetry is lit like a blood moon rising on a dark horizon. I'm having visions of space with planets aligning, leaving giant impacts like meteors colliding. Infinite habitable planets exist, thousands of years of